Studying abroad doesn't have to cost you or your family a fortune. On a yearly basis, lots and lots of students all over the world travel outside their home countries to pursue higher education and master's, PhD, and even research degrees. Many of these students pursue these studies on scholarships, so you could be next if you're interested. On this channel, we aim to break down fully funded, partially funded scholarships all over the world on a regular basis. Potentially a lot of money put in scholarship bursaries goes unclaimed year after year. So if this is something that interests you, or if you know anyone who's interested in undergraduate scholarships, master's degrees, PhDs, or research programs, then this is the channel for you. Opportunities available typically cover things like travel costs, tuition, living allowances, fees, and so on. So I would urge you to join us this year because we will be posting regular videos on lots and lots of scholarships all over the world. And I would urge you to also comment in the section below if there are specific countries you are looking for opportunities to study, maybe undergraduate, masters, or postgraduate degrees like PhDs and research programs, just so we can tailor our videos towards them. Most importantly, we will be talking about where to find these scholarships, how to apply step by step, what the scholarship committees will be looking out for to pick candidates, and we'll be bringing on board successful candidates as well. One video with David, who is a multi-scholarship award winner. If you haven't watched that video, I would urge you to go back and watch it on the channel, and I'll be dropping some important tips that he shared with us.
I think one thing about scholarship is the need for you to be prepared at all times, right? And preparation is not something that you just start one day and you finish. It's something that you plan ahead. So if you are applying for scholarships, you know that they are looking at certain requirements. So you work towards getting those requirements before applying. Because when you're filling the application form, those informations that you put are the things that will be used to evaluate your applications and determine how you are being graded. And usually they look at a lot of things when they evaluate applications. People tend to confuse the fact that if you have good grades, it means scholarship is automatic, but it doesn't always work that way. Good grades is just one of the indicators or the parameters they look at. They can be looking at previous leadership positions or contributions, maybe voluntary contributions to community development. They could be looking at publications. They could be looking at community service. They could be looking at a lot of things that contribute to your overall evaluation and how well you compete when you apply for those scholarships. So you need to prepare. You need to put all these requirements in order: your transcripts, your certificates, your documents, everything that is required to be submitted, your reference letters, statement of purpose or personal statement, your essays. All of these have to be well prepared, and they are at hand for you to submit when it needs to. Just recently, someone was applying for a scholarship, contacted me. I helped him to review his CV, his essays, I think, and some documents or so. And later on, he made an error while submitting a transcript. He submitted a transcript that didn't contain a master's transcript, that didn't contain his thesis result, and that was how he was disqualified. So when you're applying for scholarship, you have to be very careful and ensure that all these things are in the right condition and in the correct form that is needed. If they require you to translate your documents into a particular language, ensure that you are using recognized and valid translators. If they need to evaluate your transcript, maybe by recognized evaluators like the World Education Service or any evaluators, ensure that it's been done the right way, because missing any of these things can result to your disqualification. Maybe your references were not sent by your referees on time, or you submitted the references the wrong way. Instead of using official emails, you use private or personal emails. These are the things that can be hindrances or can lead to the results that you don't expect when you apply for scholarship. So you have to be careful. Personal statement or statement of purpose and other accompanying essays are an opportunity for the selection panel or the reviewers to get to know you better. There are some things that are not stated on your transcripts, on the documents you submitted, including your CVs, that you will want the reviewers or the evaluators to know, so that they can take into consideration when they are reviewing your documents for the scholarship. And statement and purpose, personal statement, and this CV is an opportunity for you to sell yourself and tell them those things. It's like an elevator speech of a thing, because when they are reviewing your documents and assessing you, you are not there. You don't even know when it's happening. Nobody will be speaking for you there apart from those documents. So whatever you need to say that will make you stand out, ensure that it's captured by these documents. Usually personal statement or statement of purpose seems to be like similar or the same thing. It's about selling yourself. Personal statement or statement of purpose is an opportunity for them to know you as a person, the skills you have, your experiences, right? Your achievements, your accomplishments. These are the things you should be mentioning in your personal statement. What roles have you occupied, and contributed positively? In what ways have you contributed in making a difference, whether in research, whether in academia, whether in your job? So you mention those things and try and give examples and be specific as much as possible to, giving them the facts so that they will know that you are someone that is result oriented and, someone that is not just part of the crowd. You can also, give reasons for any weaknesses or justification that are noticeable from your application. For example, if they say the CGP of at least 4.0 and you have 3.9 or 3.9 something, you can, in your personal statement, you can explain why you ended up with that. It may be maybe because you fell sick in school and you couldn't really prepare for certain examination in a particular semester and that affected you. You can mention it because they will not know why. If you don't mention it, they can never know why you had 3.9. So they'll be evaluating you as everyone else. But if you tell them a particular challenge that you faced that made you end up with that particular score, that's an extra knowledge, and they will be more considerate when they. The most important trait is not giving up, right? And when you don't give up, the next time, don't just submit the same application, improve upon the application. Because the better the application you have, the better your chance. See ways you can improve your application. You can, co-author a research with someone else, or, volunteer in a laboratory research and ended up being one of the co-authors. You can take on voluntary positions or get more work experience. You can contribute in positive ways in your community. And these are things you can include in your next applications that make it stronger and strengthen your application and gives you a better chance of being successful. So don't allow failure of one kind or the other discourage you from applying the next time. What I want to take on today is the need to establish valuable networks and relationships with others, because you never know, in what ways they can be of assistance to you. It may be in, sharing opportunities with you, helping to review your applications, assisting you in one way or the other in your application journey. So try as much as possible to network and establish, positive relationships with people that you can, bank on when the need arises. So I think that's key